What's going on, Juco?
Wow, we're back and we were a little bit late this morning, but it's 9:15. We got about 15 minutes until the market open and we are trading below previous day low, right? And we're looking at MNQ right now. We're looking at MNQ, and while we're trading MNQ, let's go ahead and chart this up for the morning. We really didn't. You can see that pull back into this fair value gap here of when the market took off on Monday. Actually, this was Tuesday's move. All right, so let's get this charted up. Here's our one trade that we took on yesterday. Played out very well for these shorts. Would have been beautiful to just be able to hold this, right? All throughout. Or we could have tapped into something last night to be able to bring us down to this point here. Tapping into 50% of this fair value gap, where it gives me the feel to be long today, to look for longs. First thing I want to look for is, are we trading below or above midnight open? Get some things handled here real quick. So up here where this order block is where midnight open is. So order block is here. Got relative equal highs here. So 12 a.m. is here. So grab All right, so y'all see what we have going on. We are trading into this fair value gap here on MNQ. I have not taken a look at ES this morning. So let's go ahead. We got about 4 minutes until the market open and take a look at ES, because ES price action was in all-time highs on yesterday. Okay, we see the breakdown on today. We did not trade back into this range yet. So could ES be going lower today? So I'm not sure with ES, are we going to be trading lower today or what? So we haven't broken previous day low here, but you do see the high at 7,820. And if I could do this here, let's do this. I want to see if we got about 2 minutes left. What's this? 12, 11, 12. So 3. Okay, so here. All right. So this is what I'm thinking with ES that could happen, because we got about a minute until market opens. I don't know if we come trade down, sweep previous day low, right? And it could just draw further down, or we could sweep previous day low, look to be able to recover and take out previous day high. I want to check higher time frame real quick. We're still in this pullback into fair value gap here. Let's go to so we got fair value gap here. And we could be trading all back into this, given all this move back. So let's see how today plays itself out. I don't know, man. I feel like we're bearish today for some reason. Market is open. So let's see how this plays out. Let's go back to MNQ, and I'm gonna end up pulling both of them up together at the same time. But I'm thinking about just trading Qs today. I like how price action kind of looks. So we see that we are in much more of a pullback on the Qs. thinking about doing today's strategy being probably working with 5-minute orb on today. I think here I wanna see a retracement back to midnight open, and then we start trading lower. But if we just come out the gate and just start going lower, then let's see. Let's see what we get here. So we are pushing a little bit lower. We did trade below this line here. This may be one of those days where like we don't get this move. This is what I was looking for to just give some understanding. Um, because we traded back into this gap here and filled this gap, what I was looking for was kind of for us to fill this gap and then start looking for loans back above midnight open coming here. Something that's like this. But we may not get that on this gap fill because I don't see where we will continue on from here. The only thing that has not happened is I haven't seen that on ES. So when we go to MES and we look at it on MES, because MES went to all-time highs, it did not come back to fill this gap. Do it come start trading lower, with this being buy-side liquidity up here around midnight open, where this is here? Do it trades lower back into Tuesday's fair value gap like we did on the Qs? And if that is the case, then that changes everything. But at the same time, that 5-minute candle did close. We have massive draw of liquidity back up here. That's why I said this is buy side that's here. Let's see. Oh yeah, we trading in the road to take guys. Just like Monday. Call it in the road Thursdays. Okay. I'm gonna use the magnet to be able to help me get this in sync here. All right, so we want to see what happens with ES here. And see if we just continue to trade lower on ES. And if we are trading lower on ES, then I will look for us to start trading in back into that gap from Tuesday that the Qs have filled. for overall for today. That I would see that as an overall today move. All right, so level this out here. Boom. Over here, we're gonna go. Oh man, we about almost missed it on the cues. There's that sweep. So we got our longs here. And what I'm looking for is happening. So I don't mind go ahead and taking this.
Order filled.
This is what we wanted anyway. We wanted this back to midnight open. So we got the sweep. ES looking like it's want to be bullish. We do have the breakout on ES. I think we'll understand how bullish that is based upon us being able to clear this on the 5 minute. So before we enter into any loans on ES, we just want to be patient for a retracement. Let's go ahead and put ourselves stop loss in place. So this will look something like this. I gotta take the mat. So ES did not break out of that at all. That's why we was looking at it on the 5 minute chart and didn't jump into any longs. I think us getting that sweep here on the Qs and trading back into that gap give us that bullish momentum for us to have that continuation to the upside on the Qs. And I'm looking for ES to be able to figure out if it wants to break out of this range. So nothing yet on ES. Now, what we could do for something that's outside of us, say for instance, we want to continue on higher outside of this on this trade here. My overall target could be previous day high, right? Like we could come and target previous day high and get a sweep of liquidity up here. But obviously that's where we would want to leave a runner there to be able to take this trade. I mean, not take the trade, but to fulfill this trade in its entirety. But for a short quit scalp back to midnight open, to me, that is, you have a higher percentage of getting that than anything, right? And we know that based upon our statistics, right? We talk about that all the time with our statistics of what we have here, that longs back succeed back to midnight open 69% of the time. 69% of the time. That's a high win percentage that's right there. And I love the opportunity to be able to look for loans there. So same thing here with what we have with ES. You know, we want to see ourselves break out of this range to make us comfortable in order to be able to pursue longs. But as of right now, we have not done that. And that's why we haven't hopped into anything yet. I think, you know, that momentum could come. But it remains to be seen. We're just going to be patient here to see what happens when it comes to MNQ. So those of you who are tuning in, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. And if you need any type of help within your trading, man, we do have the resources for you listed out in the description. So that'll be cool for you to go and check out. So let's see what happens. So with ES, what we do want to see though, if we break out of this range, I want to get back in on the retest. We will not jump and go crazy off of the break, right? We care more so about it retesting. Once it retested, then we will be able to enter in for longs. Where would our target be? Back to where we were on yesterday. So you take it to like the 15-minute. See where yesterday's high was, right? 78.20. This could be where we target. So we're still patient on ES. We have not done anything as of yet. On the Qs, we are still holding strong on our position. So let's see how bullish we can be on MNQ. So we're just being patient. Patient is a virtue here. So we are seeing this break on ES, right? But what we don't want to enter in just yet. Not yet. Not yet. We do want to take partials when we clip above previous day low, like midnight open. I'm looking at for partials at 29,561, 29,561, or somewhere between 29,531, 29,561 is where we take our partials, and we'll hold for the rest of the day. ES, we see we do have the breakout, right? We need a strong breakout and retest before we be able to do anything on ES. We were a little bit late on the cues trying to get ES situated. That's what I hate. We was a little bit late. Like, we should be well more into the money. So we do have the breakout on ES. Do not FOMO into ES, guys. Do not FOMO. So we're gonna get ready to take our first partial on the cues. What I want to do, what I want to see, not what I want to do. I want to see an expansion past this here to midnight open. I want to see that on the cues. Look, we having that pullback happen. I want to see that pullback comes right back to just retest this gap here of what we had in this fair value gap before we enter into loans. We may not get it, but you know, that's what I would want to see first. Get ready to take your partials on the cues. MES, you do it. That gap did kind of get touched, so
Order
you
filled.
could go ahead and tap into ES if you choose to, right? Because that first fair value gap did get touched. We're gonna go ahead and take our partials though on the cues
Order filled.
and leave a runner. So on the cues though, it's seeming like we are getting that pullback like how we want it. But I do think like with this fair value gap being here, us coming back, tapping into it. Now, if we clear it all the way out, then it is what it is at that point. Coming back in failure, we'll just retry this again. Be sure to cut your risk a little bit and move to break even on the cues. Could move yourself into profit if you choose to. A little bit. But we're at 2 micros right now until we actually start getting some momentum on this sign. Us pulling back into this fair value gap makes me want to, on ES, take another
Order filled.
buy here to add to our position. Just one more micro, not too much. To add to our position here while we enter into these longs. I would just say exercise patience here. You see that tap back into that fair value gap? I like that. If it fails here and fails this fair value gap, then obviously we would close the trade, right? We could go ahead and put in our stop. What we did not do this morning is share our live. What happened? So much was happening on this morning, y'all. That's why we was a little bit late to the party. So that was a sweep of previous day low here. Let's see if we could just get continuation past that, above midnight open. I want to see if this level here holds around midnight open though. We're not using it as a key level, but we do know like there is some form of liquidity that's sitting there, resting right here. But we could start seeing this thing pull itself back. So here's the retest while we did not kind of FOMO. Let's see if it fails. Hey, we could re-enter back into the trade. That's no problem. If it fails, we went off of the tap of this fair value gap. Like once it tapped right back into it, we went back into it, but it's coming back to retest. This was our original plan of not FOMOing and wanting to wait on it to come back to retest this range here. And obviously we could see it turning back here. So that's a good sign. And that could have been our entry, but we went on ahead and took the entry with just a little bit of a drawdown back to where our stop is. So we'll see if this holds, if it holds, or if it fails. So we'll just keep our eye on that. But I would like to see a little bit of a draw higher on the cues.
Stop filled.
Okay, so on ES, that stop did not fill. It failed. But on the Qs, we are still in this trade. I think as far as that quick scalp go, we should just go ahead and see. With this coming back to retest here on ES, let's see if this holds. We could probably find another entry here. I don't want to rush into it just yet. It's kind of like we're making a brick here, brick wall for us to start trending back lower. I want to see us break through this with some expansion to the upside, back above to midnight open here is what I want to see. ES is hanging around this area of our 5-minute range. Traded back into this fair value gap here. We could go ahead and remove this out of the way. So you see we're hanging around right here. Let's see if we start trading back into our range. If we start trading back into our range, then we'll just hold off on ES to be able to determine if we will have a different approach and an idea to what we do here. But this is what we wanted, though. We wanted to break out. We're coming back. We're getting a retest here. And what I'm hoping for is for some momentum to start happening for us to enter into loans again on ES. So I say just hang tight, be patient. But I do like that retest here, man. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and tap into it just a little bit, you know.
Order filled.
Just a little bit. Have a type stop right here. This is where my stop will be. No, not right here. We clearly just got stopped out. Let's see. There we go. It was kind of cool that my stop had started down here for some reason. That's not where I put it, but it didn't wick me out of the trade. So we was able to come back in and get our stop where we needed to. And we're slow. We're not doing nothing too much on ES, right? Because we're out there in no man's land. But on the Qs, I could see us trying to draw to that liquidity, man, that's there. So what we'll do is start locking ourselves into more profit. So we'll just move, we'll just trail. We'll trail that and see if we could get some momentum on ES. Let's see.
Stop filled.
All right, so ES is not wanting to take off at all. So we'll leave ES alone. Focus on what we got going on with the Qs. Even though I feel like ES just wants to turn up. I feel like it just want to turn up. Like I'm determined to get ES. With ES, we probably got to have a tighter stop, like a wider stop. Not tighter stop, but a wider stop. But again, I don't know. I don't like this consolidation that's here, that's happening, right? It look like we could be forming like a bullish order block here. Hopefully we could get expansion past previous day low here, targeting here at 29,616. But we'll see. We're just being a little bit patient here. So look at ES is starting to try to catch that bullish momentum here. Let's see what we're working with. Still consolidating a little bit. I don't want to be in that chop. I want to see a little bit of an expansion. Let's see if we can get a little bit of an expansion with a fair value gap. Then we will be able to enter in on MES again. That will be my last time trying to take that. Okay, we get a fair value gap here. We might have our entry point.
Order filled.
Here. All right. So again, same thing. We want to put our stop here. So if you drop down to the 1 minute, I can show y'all. I was looking at this on the 1 minute. So fair value gap was right here off of these 3 candle sequence. Obviously, it just failed the fair value gap, and it's just continued. Every single time we hop into this, it don't want to break out. Every single time. Like it gives off that, all right, we finna take off, just to break down and fail all over again in this chop. So this was our last time. Once it comes back and touch this range, we're out.
Order filled.
I'm not worried about ES anymore. Not finna play those games. We'll focus on our last remainder of what we have on the queues on today. We're still up about 400 on the day. We have taken our partial, so let's see if we can get continuation up here to this level of liquidity of what we want on our last remaining contract. If not, if we get stopped out on here, then hey, we're good for today to walk away with what was made from this morning's scalp. I'm not too worried. Today's my first day trading, and I've been doing well on ES. It's been bearish all day. Some just been selling all day. I don't know if that's a bad philosophy, but it's working. Yeah, the thing is now what I would like to see though overall with ES, and I was talking about that like in our pre-market. See, look, ES is getting ready to, like, it's trying to really truly break out of this range, like for those loans. But out of the pre-market, this is what I was looking at. Like if you go to a higher time frame, you could see where the breakout is on a 15-minute orb. And this is like the retest. If I were to do, like, say if we did 15-minute opening range breakout, we're literally at the retest that's right here. You get the break, now you're at the retest, then you enter in for loans, taking it back to our highs, right? That's what I was looking for on ES.
Order filled.
Like, it's almost like a quick scalp. Like, I like it because it looks really good, right? We're stuck into this consolidation. We get the manipulation back to our high, and then we continue lower with distribution, looking for a power of 3 pretty much type setup. So here, let me do the chart overall, open it bigger and go to ES. But shout out to you, the 186-808. Shout out to you on your first day of trading. So you see what we have here? Like, we got this massive draw on liquidity that's here. So this is why I was looking for our loans to take us back here to take out buy side. And once we took out buy side, then we come and get distribution. So when you go and drop to a lower time frame, right? When you drop to a lower time frame, you see all the liquidity that's here. This is why I considered this buy side here. Buy side liquidity being up here. So you get a power of 3 profile where you will get accumulation. We scalp the manipulated move, and then we get distribution back to downside for the rest of the day. That's what I was looking for, is a 3 within that setup. So we're drawing, you can see that we're drawing to liquidity, and you can see why I like going long here on a quick scalp, right? Like, not for my overall day bias on it. I do think, you know, that, hey, we could continue a little bit lower, but I think we get a draw on buy side, sweet buy side liquidity, and then we continue on down with distribution. This being like that manipulated move in a sense, but we have yet to press through buy side. Like, we're just hanging around right here at this liquidity pool here, and it's showing to be a very strong high. Because if you look, and I can mark them out for you, if you look, here, failed, here, failed, here, we failed. We broke out a little bit, but we came back here and failed, here and failed. Here, we're here again. Do we come in sweet buy side here with more momentum because we're in New York session and then get distribution? That's what I'm hoping to see and what I'm trying to see here. So that's kind of like the play and move for me on that when we talk about ES. You teaching me something? I'm going to do more research on consolidation, distribution, and power of 3. Yes, power of 3 is a ICT. I trade ICT concepts. So me trading ICT concepts, it's a profile model that I look for, right? So when I'm trading, usually, and I talk about this in my ebook, and I'm gonna pull this up for you so that you could be able to see it. It's in the description. So if you go to the description, you'll be able to see. I have my model right there in that ebook, and you'll be able to see exactly what the model is. That's what we look for on the daily. Anytime that we're trading, we're looking. All right, y'all, I see that we are like still failing right here at this level. Like, we're just fail, hit it here again. Are we gonna fail here again, or do we get expansion to the upside? I want to see expansion happening past this. And it's looking like it want to give that. Let's check on our trade on the Qs real quick. Okay, so we're still up $325 on the Qs. And then we'll go back and talk a little bit more on ES. We want to keep our eyes on this trade here so we can manage it very, very well. We don't want to give nothing back to the market. All right, so we're going to move our we're going to keep continuing to trail here. Okay. And move our stop. We do want to give the trade some room to breathe. But I'm liking where this level is here. We got to break above midnight open. That 29,680 is that overall look of final TP for me, of what I've been looking for and what I wanted in this. And you say, Jeremy, why you want that level? Because look, we got liquidity sitting and hanging right here. Boom. And I want that to be taken out. So that's why I want to hold on to this trade, guys. I don't want to let this go. So I'm just going to trail it. So let's see if this continue as a sweep here, because we just took out these relative equal highs that was sitting right here. where this bearish order block started. We're breaking past this bearish order block. So here's the break here. Right now it's if this fails, right? If this candle fails, then it will fall under a sweep. And then we will start continuing on lower, right? But if we can break past this and get closure past this bearish order block, then we can look for our next level and target our next level of liquidity, which will be here. And we will trail our stop literally right behind it. We'll probably be about 65% behind it, because we don't want to give back the entire move, right? So, but back to ES, because we are still in a trade with ES. Let me see how we're doing there. Well, let's just have both of them up at the same time. How about that? We'll just have both up at the same time. So we're looking for final TP on the Qs, and for ES, we're looking to see, can we target back to yesterday's high? You know, we're looking to see if we could be able to get that. That's what I'm looking for on here. But we did get that break on those levels of liquidity of what we were talking about. We did get that break, so I'm a little bit happy about that. But I still think that, you know, that being a manipulated move, we just target just a little bit higher than where we are. Make the high for today and then start trading back lower for ES for sure, because the Qs, if you go back and look, man, the Qs filled that whole entire gap of Tuesday's takeoff. When we took off on Tuesday we took off. I was told to just, are you full-time trader? Yes, I am a full-time trader. Yes, I am a full-time trader. I'm here live every single day to trade live. So I'm a full-time trader. Been a full-time trader for the past since 2019. And I'm here every single day. Every single day. I was very much on I was on TikTok heavy, and I spent a lot of time on TikTok, and then I decided, I was like, okay, let's go ahead and move to YouTube. And so I've been on YouTube as of late, trying to build up my YouTube profile, but I am very big on TikTok. So I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. So it's looking like we fell here and starting to pull back on ES. So we're back above midnight open on the Qs here, which I like. We traded back above midnight open here on ES, but we're just dollying around. Nothing too serious has happened as of yet. I feel like the markets are decoupled, because when you go and you look at yesterday, yesterday we shorted the Qs while ES was in no man's land, creating its new high, all-time high. That was here. So I'm still feeling like we're decoupled in a sense. Because you can see like we're going higher on the Qs, but ES is just like price action is just slow. Not to get too personal, but I love to trail some of your trades. I no longer can work because of an accident and my family needs another source of income other than disability. Do you win often? Yes. So again, not financial advice at all, period. But what I will say is this here. And this can be for you as a trader. It's looking like, guys, we're reaching final TP here. I'm liking that move, this bullish expansion of what we wanted to see. When it comes to trading, this is what I would prefer you do right here. And this is just me being completely honest, right? I'm here every single day, right? I have a system and a model that I trade that has been back tested and that I believe in, that I strongly believe in, and I only take my trades based upon my entry models of what's given to me. For you, what I would highly suggest is I could give signals and show you where I enter into trades, but with your situation, being honest, I would really love for you to learn that skill and tap into the resources of what it is of what I have that's in the description. And once you grab those and you book a one-on-one meeting with me, which is for free, right? That's a 60-minute meeting for free where we could discuss your trading. I'll be able to help you within that. So you won't necessarily have to depend on me, right? You won't necessarily have to depend on me. I'm going to show up every single day doing what I have to do. And I know you're going to do what you have to do for your family. But just a man trying to make a way and learn at the same time. Absolutely. Absolutely. I completely understand that. I complete 1000%. And so with me understanding that, like I said, I'm going to show up every day for you all and to be able to show my trades live. I have no reason to hide at all, period. I could show, you'll see when I win, you see when I fail is all over my on my channel, right? You can see my highlights, things of that sort. But you can also see that I do have a newsletter that gives you a macro viewpoint of the market in its entirety before you take any trades for the week. And I send that out weekly for free for those who subscribe to that, right? So they get the macro weekly outlook on the market so that they could be able to understand what is happening, what patterns are kind of forming or what formed throughout the week, as far as us looking at the daily and the weekly charts, right? And then we will start tapping into our daily profiles of how we want to trade, what will be determining our bias for the week. And then you break that down of what will be determining our bias for today. So when we approach the market, and I'm here every day at 9 o'clock. I was a little bit late today. No lie. I was just a little bit late. But when I come at 9 o'clock, we determine our daily bias at that point, and we set our levels to be able to understand, okay, what is it of what we're going to want to see on today? And this is what our approach going to be. We're going to create the plan the trade. And if that trade fails, then hey, it's okay. We'll walk away, come back the next day. But if it's something that I strongly see that I know that I want, like with ES today, like I know ES wants to just deliver and continue a little bit higher, creating a buyer profile here coming out of accumulation. But if it fails, then hey, it fails, It is what it is. I could walk away with being able to have that risk factor there. Right, so let's go ahead and put us a stop in, guys. We don't have a stop on ES. So I would suggest, I'm gonna show up every single day. I know you're gonna show up every single day, but to make it better for you to know what it is of what we're trading and what I'm looking at, how I'm trading, tap into those resources and invest smallly into yourself, um, and get everything of what's free. Schedule that meeting with me so we could be able to uh, talk about it, right? And I could show you some things within that meeting, and we can be able to have you set up to be able to provide for your family, um, based upon circumstances. And once you learn this skill, you can be able to eat every single day that the market is open, which the market is open 24 hours if you trade crypto. So once you develop and learn the skill trading futures, you just take this same skill and be able to trade your crypto, which is a 24-hour market too as well. So you'll be able to do it. All right, y'all. You see the lag of what we have that's going on ES. I'm looking for that expansion, that bullish expansion, so that we could create the high for today. And look, we're approaching our final TP here. I'm going to trail our stop a little bit more. Let's drop to a lower time frame so I could be able to get some levels here of what I want to see. So we still want to remain back just a little bit so we could give the trade some room to breathe. Let's see if we can clip here and clip this high. We can clip this at 29,680, which is what we've been calling for all day long. If we can take this out, we'll close off on the day. ES, we just in BS price action. Do you win more than you lose? Not trying to get into your pockets. I'm just curious on what's possible so I can calculate bills and such. Hey, it shouldn't be determined on me, man. It shouldn't be determined on me. But I will say here, uh, people who are with me who see me show up every single day, they know that, like, hey, I I I have a higher win percentage than anything, and I do my stuff based off of percentages. So one thing that I do show here is when I do take my trades, I do my trades based upon win percentages of what the market presents. So for me, I only take positions based off of stats that I've accumulated over time. So what I'm showing you here is when I trade over key levels, you'll be able to see. I wouldn't take a trade that I think I'm going to fail in all the time. Like, I wouldn't be here making
Stop filled.
I wouldn't be if I wasn't a profitable trader. I'll say this. So we just got stopped out on ES, guys. So that's cool. We're done for the day on ES. Not really truly going to be worried about that. Looking like we're about to get stopped here on the Qs, but we're up over 700 today already on the Qs because we took a partial.
Stop
earlier.
filled.
So we already got stopped out on the Q. So we're done for the day on the Q. So that's our trading for today. We are done. But I wanted to say this. This was a good day. This was a good day, right? Like, we got what we wanted. Obviously, we were looking to take to previous day high, but if you take a look at the scalp of what we were looking for here, trading back to midnight open, we had a 70% chance on this setup. The setup presented itself, and we was able to take the trade. Shout out to you all who took this trade, right? That was a win for today. But for me, I only do things on a statistical probability, right? Like, if we are in a particular place within the market, I'm not going to take setups that does not make sense. And I wouldn't be profitable being able to be here every day and provide for my family if I lost more than me making money, right? So obviously I'm doing something right to be able to be in this position for as long as I've been in this position. But I'm here every day, you know what I'm saying? This is in the road Thursday, chilling. We made some good money this morning. Let's check and see what our profits are for this morning on the trade. So this was a $700 day. ES, we took about let's see, we tried to enter ES at least 3 times for 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 us to see if we could get a little bit of an expansion on ES about 3 times. Um that just didn't work itself out for ES. ES might be in for those shorts, man, and it's looking like those shorts are coming in. The high is already determined, and shorts are coming in on ES. But for us, we're just gonna walk away for today, but we're good. So what do I need to do to trail your trade tomorrow? So tomorrow's Friday, right? So Friday, hey, just show up at 9 o'clock. You know, show up at 9 o'clock, and you'll be able to see when I enter into a trade, if I take a trade, or if the market presents itself for us to be able to take an opportunity to trade, we will trade. If it doesn't present our model in our profile to trade, then we might not trade. But I'm here every day, so you can show up every single day, subscribe, so that, and hit the notification bell so you could get the notifications to show up every day, and know when I go live, so that you can be here with us every morning at 9 o'clock, determining our bias and what it is, what I see on the day, and then we can go from there. The rest will solely be up to you. So if you want to push that button to take the trades with me, hey, that's on you. It won't be me telling you to take a trade, though. I will not do that. That's why we have this in place that we show prior to us taking any type of trades, right? Got to put that disclaimer out there. So you're welcome, no problem, man. I'm glad you was able to come on today, and hopefully you made some money today, though. Hopefully you made some money today. So if you made some money today, man, shouts out to you, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you on tomorrow. So, all right, guys, we are done for today. That's a win in the books. And we could have done a lot better. Like when we assess how the day played itself out so far, with this morning scout on the long, and we tried to get the same thing on on ES. We go to ES because we got our trade on the Qs, but we want to see here, how about this? Let's open up both of them. So we see with ES, oh boy, look at that. Fall right back into the range, trying to figure it out. This is why we're not trading ES at all. It don't know what it want to do. That right there, we not finna fool with that. We not finna fool with it at all. We could enter into shorts and short ES for the rest of the day, but I'm not gonna play with it, right? This was an opportunity like where we could probably hop in on that retracement. But I'm not gonna hop in on and worry about ES like that too much. We'll just let it do its thing, and we'll walk away and take our win on what we have for today on the Qs. So W for today on the Qs. What we wanted to see, we got, and I'm appreciative of that. If there is anything that I would say as far as our overall look on the market, let's just continue to go to the daily and what we see on the daily real quick. Here's the reason as to why I always talk about this here. One second. Here's exactly why I always talk about this here. I want to pull this up to show y'all what it is of what we saw today real quick. If I can pull that up. Let's see if I can get a chance to pull this up for you all. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Here's what's in my ebook, right? Of what I teach and what I talk about. So this is what we got on today of what we were looking for. Here's a strong, good example of that, right? And if you're hanging out with me right now and you see this, you're gonna be like, okay, I see why he's why he's saying what he's saying when we're taking trades. Look, check this out. When we're taking trades, right? We're looking for our sell side liquidity pool to be swept, right? We're looking for a sweep. So today, what did we see us trade into on the Qs? Let's drop down to our 3-minute chart on the Qs, right? This is what we saw. Oh man, I hate when that happens. Boom. You see, we were trading down here. And we got that sweep there, right? Well, you say, well, Jeremy, what is the importance of that sweep of what you're showing us? Well, let's go to a 15-minute chart. When you go to a higher time frame, if you have been in the market, right, trading, you will know that on Tuesday, if you were taking this long, I took this long on ES. I did not take it on NQ on Tuesday when the market had opened, right? When the market opened, we did our 5-minute opening range. Boom, we took longs and made hella money that day. I did this on ES. I didn't do it on MNQ. But it was the same setup on ES as it was on MNQ because the market wasn't decoupled at that time. So when this move happened here, it created a gap and it left this gap that was here, right? That's this blue mark of what I have that's open right here. This is that gap that it left. Once we started pulling back and we shorted the top on yesterday, this is the short from yesterday. We shorted that. Obviously, the market closed, so we did not get this whole entire move, right? But we did get the scalping short on yesterday. Once we got the scalping short on yesterday, we traded all the way back into what? The fair value gap of what we left on Tuesday. Once we traded back into that gap and we swept that liquidity that's sitting here, boom. Just look to the left of the chart. That's sitting here. Follow the bouncing ball. Boom, we're here. Once we swept that liquidity that's here, if you look, just watch. I'm going to give us a straight line so you could be able to see it. Going to take this horizontal ray. Bam. So let me change the color of that horizontal ray. Got a lot of blue going on here. I'm going to change it to the color red. Look, once we swept this horizontal ray here, and we was a little bit late, but we got in just in time because we had confirmation. We was a little bit late because we was trying to see what was happening on ES. So it was a little bit late. Look, guys, it's going to our TP here at that next draw. I wish we would have got the rest of that instead of trailing so tight to get stopped out, but it's all good. We get the sweep here of this liquidity And then we target, right, that next level draw, breaking the bullish order block here, and we targeting that next level draw, in which we did. You get the sweep. So when you go and you look at what I have in the ebook, what did I talk about? The liquidity hunt sweep. Boom. Sweep. Enter in for longs. Money. It's like clockwork, right? That's why I said tap into the resources. When you tap into the resources, you know, you'll be good. So I appreciate you all on today. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope you was able to get something out of what we did on this morning and what we traded on this morning. And it will help you as you continue on in your trading journey to just get better, right? That's what it's about at the end of the day. So tap into that ebook in the description, guys. It's a reason for it, so you can be able to understand what we're looking for in the market. It's not anything of a money grab or nothing like that for me, but if it's something of a system of what I use that made me profitable, and you have a chance to be able to get it at the cheapest price there is, and you can set up a free opportunity to be able to talk to me so that we can be able to discuss it and put that plan in place for you so that you can be able to do the same thing and put your family into position. That's what it's about, right? Each one teach one. That's what it's about. So, again, like I said, I hope this was good for you all. Are there any questions? Any questions?
What's going on, Juco?
All right, so since there's no questions, man, I'll see y'all tomorrow.